What's up, everybody? Dark Cosmic here, back with another astrology video. Today, I would like to talk about having your Mars in the eighth house. So, what is it like when somebody has this type of placement? Um, so, Mars is your motivation, your willpower, your ambition. All right. So, if you see this planet in your chart, when you see this planet in your chart, just remember that this is what it represents. It is a masculine planet. It is ruled by both Aries and Scorpio. So you can read up on Aries and Scorpio to learn more about the planet Mars. Um, and generally speaking, in astrology, Mars, as well as everything I just said, Mars also represents an individual's sex drive, specifically for men. It plays a much more important role in a man's chart than it does in a female's chart for obvious reasons. If you look at the symbol of Mars, it is like an arrow, very similar to the male genitalia. It has an arrow at the top, a shaft, and then a base. It's kind of, the base is like a circle. That is what Mars, the symbol for Mars, is. Um, and in a woman's chart, it can also represent their sexuality as well, but it just plays a more dominant role in the man's chart. In a woman's chart, it's more it's the kind of man that they're attracted to, but in a man's chart, it's almost like his entire being when he was in his youth. So it kind of eclipses the male's entire psyche when they're younger, whereas in the woman, it's just probably just located only in their sexual department. So it's much more important in the man's chart. Is all I'm trying to say. So we're gonna go to the eighth house now. So what is the eighth house? The eighth house is the home of Scorpio. It is ruled by Scorpio. So this is a Martian house, right? Because remember, Mars is ruled by Scorpio as well. Um, so the eighth house is, I'd like to say that the eighth house is like the dark side in your chart. The eighth house is secrets, transformation. It is darkness. It is rejuvenation, healing, theft, other people's possessions, whether that is through theft or through, generational wealth, or just a gift. That is what the eighth house also represents. It represents taking something and making and transforming it. Um, the eighth house is a very spiritual house as well, but more on the darker side of spirituality rather than the lighter side. Um, yeah. So when you take Mars and you put it in the eighth house, Mars honestly, oh yeah, the eighth house is also about vengeance, aggression, motive, deep-seated aggression, though, not aggression like you cut me off. This isn't the road rage house, if that makes sense. This isn't you cut me off, I flip you off house. This is the rage built over years, simmering underneath the surface, and then one day they strike and they get their revenge. This is what the eighth house represents. It is hidden anger, hidden rage, hidden, lust, hidden a lot of things. Uh, and back to Mars, right? And the association of Mars. So Mars likes to be here because this is just the dark side of Mars. This is not the upfront, knock you over the head energy of Mars. This is the secret, deeper, darker side of Mars. So Mars enjoys being here. And I haven't done this too much for these Mars videos, but I'm gonna do this type of interpretation here. So I like to look at the planets like they are individuals, right? And so Mars in particular, you can think of Mars as a youthful male from 21 to about 13, you know. This is also when men are a lot more ruled by their Mars energies from this time period, 21 to about 13. You know, it's like they're young. It's a young man, young masculine energy. All right. The older masculine energy that men exhibit over time would be their sun sign. And then they take from Jupiter, they take from Saturn to, you know, make them a more complete male or a complete masculine energy to balance them out. That's another video though. So um Mars in the eighth house, it loves to be here. Okay, so what are these people like? Their motivations are very dark. Sorry, I got interrupted there. Um, what was I saying? I believe I was talking about, you know, why Mars enjoys being in the eighth house, and I'm gonna just continue on that. Sorry if I kind of jumbled up things just now, but so Mars likes to be here because this is the deeper, darker side of life, and Mars gets to express itself in the darker nature that it is actually used to. It gets to express it. It gets to express its scorpionic nature. Okay, so what are these people like? You know, they seek out, their motivations are very deeply rooted in a lot of pain. Their motivations are very deeply rooted in how they feel about things, but not so much how they feel about things on a, you know, rapid type of frequency. More it's how they feel about things on a very deep, slow and steady level. It's like they don't they don't their motivations aren't like, trying to give an example here. They're not like super petty type people in terms of their motivations. Like if they did a crime, right? And you're like, what was the motivation of this Mars and Scorpio person? It wasn't, oh, you know, they did this crime because somebody flipped them off, you know, and they were upset and they did this excessively bad crime because somebody flipped them the bird. No, it's small, it's insignificant, you know, they can get over that. They did the crime because, you know, so and so fucked their wife, or so and so, you know, exposed a secret of theirs, or so and so snitched on them and, you know, made them do time. You know, it's like something like really deep, and they've just been simmering on this, you know. So they have deeper, darker motivations, not surface level. Okay, so these people, their motives are often a lot deeper. That's what I was trying to get to. Their motivations are a lot deeper than you may think. Okay, so if this person doesn't like you, it's a lot deeper than you may even know. You know? As fucked up as that sounds, you know, like if you see these type of people with this Mars placement, their motivations are very deep. They like to hide their motivations because this is the house of secrecy. Okay, we're taking Mars, this soldier, this youthful soldier, and we're going to place it into the house of secrecy, darkness, deep motivation, whatever. Mars is now being molded by this young soldier. You're right. I like to describe Mars as a soldier, and the sun, i.e., your sun sign, I like to describe that as the general. The sun is your general in your chart. So Mars is being molded by this world that Mars is in now, and this is creating a very hardened soldier that realizes that we don't always have to tell people how we feel immediately. We don't always have to let people know what we're all about out the gate. They can find out much later when it is too late, because that is to our benefit. That is our type of power, our type of our preferred way of gaining power. This is another thing. Both Aries and Scorpio have a high capacity to generate a lot of power. And when I say power, I mean these are the type of people that can generate a lot of influence, not just power on a spectrum, power from the physical standpoint and power from the metaphysical physical standpoint and the metaphysical standpoint. So, and everything in between. And when I say that, these people can generate power from physicality. This would be the person that Aries can generate a lot of, because they are governed by Mars, the god of war, right? This is the planet of war. So a lot of Aries can generate a lot of force within them that you would never expect, and so can Scorpio. But the way that they would rather do it is different. Scorpio doesn't want to be strong and show you out the gate that they're strong like an Aries could, or an Aries more than likely would. Scorpio more wants to show you how they can be strong in a way that kind of just puts you to shame in every single way possible. They want to show that they can completely dominate you in all aspects. That's how they would rather show their strength. It's a deeper, darker motivation to what they are doing. And I'm gonna say that a lot. There's these signs are both ruled by Mars, but Aries is like, I have a problem with you. I'm gonna knock on your front door, let you know what's up. Let's fight here and now, right? That's more Aries energy. Scorpio energy, I'm not saying that all Scorpio energy is like this. I'm not saying that all Scorpios operate like this, but this energy is more inclined to operate like this. Instead of knocking on your front door, it's more like slowly do things to them to mess with them. They go to they go put their shoes on, they step on some glass in their shoe. They go to their car, they got a flat tire, right? And then it leads up to them eventually, I don't know, get into a major car accident that you planned for them. It's like the vengeance is a lot deeper, it's a lot darker, it's a lot more sinister. They didn't knock on your front door and try to, it's like that. It's like they have a more twisted sense of war, versus Aries does. So here I said all the darker stuff, and darkness isn't good or bad, but I said all the the more negative stuff. Here's the positive side of the motivations of these people. So these people can be very motivated to take what you have and turn it into something that you can generate a lot of wealth with. So these can be your managers, like managers that are like just like you have an artist, like a rapper or whatever. These could be people that are like horrible example, but like people like P. Diddy, right? Who have and I say horrible example because he was he's such a fucked up person, right? But he's a Scorpio. So, these are the people that like they see something that you have and they're like, I've got the funds and I've got the power. And if you just allowed me to control your where you're going just a little bit, I'm telling you, you would reap the benefits very greatly, And they might do that in a positive or negative way. Depends on what type of Mars in the 8th house type person this is, Another positive thing about these people when it comes to their motivations, I would say their motivation is to heal. This is a healing house as well. That's another thing people don't realize about the 8th house. The 8th house is about transformation. And it is about going through a painful process so that you can now reap the benefits of going through said painful process. So these can be the people that are all about cleanses, and when I say cleanses, I mean like dietary type cleansing, so that, and you might go through a lot of pain because your body is getting rid of a lot of mucus or parasites, whatever. And they can come up with, these people might be into things like that, where they have like these different herbs and stuff that they're gonna provide for you, cleanse your body, rejuvenate you, and it's gonna transform you into your ultimate self, And if it's not like that, these guys can be personal trainers, right? They're motivated to instill in you a mindset that you can do whatever you need to do to become as fit as possible. And their motive is to see you transform from this fat slob or this skinny or this skinny stick into a fit and sturdy individual, you know, fit and robust in health type of individual. So I'm trying to think of another positive aspect of this placement. Um, these people are very sexually motivated as well. It could be negative or positive though, to be honest. You know, they, you know, in the bedroom, they can be the most motivated to give you the best and deepest experience sexually that you possibly can get. Or they can just be thinking about sex all the time and that's their motive, you know, like they gave you the job, but really they just wanted to fuck you. They gave you the job, but really they just wanted, you know, whatever, you know, they can be sexually. That's the darker side. I'm always try to speak on both spectrums when it comes to this. So let's go to the men with this placement in their youth, because Mars represents a man in their youth. All right, it is a youthful masculine energy. In their youth, these men were, you know, they had a lot of secrets. Their motives were, they hid their motives away from people a lot. You know, they would do things and they would not let people know why. They were very vengeful in their youth. They thought about sex, and they thought about sex or were motivated by the idea of sex extremely, you know, to the point that they were obsessive of it. And I'm not saying that these men aren't like this still. They can still be like this. It just probably has died down a little bit due to the fact that they are more than likely now tapped into their sun sign energy, taking wisdom and guidance from their Jupiter energy, and also taking practical foundational information from their Saturn energy. So, and if they're not, then they might be perceived as immature if they are continuing to behave in the manners of Mars rather than these three other placements. You know, I'm not telling these men to get rid of their Mars energy. I'm just saying that this Mars energy, if you make it the, you know, be all end all in your entire personality, you might come out as the more immature male. Even though this is a good placement for Mars, it is still your lower nature. You know, when you look at it on the totem pole, it is your lower nature. This is just your motives. Your motives, you know, your sexual energy. It's your lower nature, no matter how you slice it. All right, it's your more animalistic war energy. So you want to be led more by your sun energy, your Jupiter energy, and your Saturn energy. Okay, now let's go to women. Women with this placement. They were, in their youth, they were more attracted to men that were more like Scorpios. Now, I'm not saying that they were attracted to Scorpio men specifically, although it can play out like that. It could play out like they had many exes that were Scorpios, or they always fantasized about dealing with Scorpio men or Scorpio women, whatever's your cup of tea. So they were attracted to Scorpio energy in their youth. And as these women get older, you know, they tend to look to other things that they believe that a man needs. And so they might look to their sun sign, they might look to their Jupiter, specifically their Jupiter, because Jupiter in a woman's chart represents the right man for them in terms of marriage material. But you got to look at not just Jupiter, you got to look at the house, and you can't think, oh, it has to be this Jupiter sign. It's more of the qualities, not the sign, the qualities of both the house and the sign. Doesn't have to be the sign. It is, if it is Jupiter in Libra, you're not looking for a Libra man. You're looking for a man with Libra qualities, positive Libra qualities. If it is in the fourth house, you're not looking for a Libra man that has Cancer, that is has Sun in the fourth house. You're looking for a Libra man I mean, you're looking for, a man with Libra qualities that also has fourth house qualities. That's Cancer. That's the Cancer house, right? This is just an example. Has the qualities of the fourth house or Cancer house. And that would be kind of like maybe this man is artistic. Maybe this man is, into modeling. Maybe this man is just fair. And, this man could even be a judge because Libra stuff represents being a judge. And then you have the fourth house that's about the home. So it could be a man that is a judge or a lawyer, a man that is a family lawyer, right? That does family law, right? Because they have that Libra energy about law, LL, right? Libra law. So they got that Libra law energy. And then they also have that Cancer fourth house family energy. So maybe they do law for family. It's so many combinations though that you can do with that. So that's what your Jupiter, that's why you should pay attention to your Jupiter, right? But you should also look at your Saturn because that's how you gain stability. And then your Sun, that is your in a lot of ways the Sun sign represents a woman's father. So you mix that in a pot, and that's where you'll get a good guy out of that, out of those combinations, right? You keep chasing the Mars energy as a woman, it's more of a thrill. Mars is a very quick, flash in the pan energy. It's here to get us aroused and to go away. It's here for a short time and not a long time. It is a motivation, passion. It isn't steady energy. So that is all I'm going to say about this placement. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. One love.